There we go.
Are you gonna be in the camera view of that?
I should be in camera view now.
Alrighty.
Alright, okay. I don't know if y'all can see me with my head so fucking high up here, but welcome to the Every Nerd channel. My name is Darren Christian, your host as always. And these are my boys, Alex and Alan.
Hey.
This is their first time on the internet, be nice to them.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and we're here to talk about... Oh, well, sorry. I'm getting off track here. We're getting way ahead of ourselves. So, it's ASIN Week! ASIN Week! Anime con that's really, really OP as fuck. And there's going to be cosplay. I will be there as Static Shock as my first. Yeah, I have to plug everything. Leave me alone. I have to plug everything. Come say hi. Come talk to me. I hope to have an interview knocked out by the end of it. It should be good. It should be great. This is going to be the first of uploads to the YouTube channel, so hooray! YouTube channel's not actually dead. I'm actually doing stuff for it. I will be there Friday and Saturday only. I will not be there Sunday. Sunday, I don't want to drive down for like 3 or 4 hours and then have to go to work at 5. So, sorry peeps, I'm not going to do that. So, overall, come say hi. I'll be hanging around, hanging about, or you can ignore me, as usual. Blah, blah, blah. Moving on. So, we're here to talk about Digimon, the series. We're going to kind of put the other stuff on hold for now because we kind of got late in the day. So, guys, introduce yourselves and how did you guys come across Digimon?
Hey, I'm happy to be Alex. As it is really with Digimon, I happen to be introduced with from the movie originally. It was just literally that was my first way of getting introduced to it, and from there I just kind of happened to.
Spoiler alert! Sorry.
Yeah, from there just happened to kind of go across everything at my own pace.
And I'm Alan. Being introduced to Digimon when the Pokemon craze was majorly a thing, and then somebody brought over, well, obviously I was playing the TCG version of Pokemon, and then they're like, oh yeah, here, I play a Digimon card. It's got 1,000 attack. You only have 100. I win. And I'm just like, what is Digimon? From there, slowly watching all the seasons and getting immersed in what the fandom is, so.
Me, I just woke up about, I want to say, 9:30, 9 o'clock one Saturday morning when Fox Kids was on the air, and there's this dude with goggles screaming at everybody, screaming at a gigantic dinosaur, which eventually just started throwing fireballs at everything. It's literally Pokemon plus Godzilla. How do you not like that?
Not wrong.
Basically, at that certain point, Digimon just kind of took over, and then, of course, the 90s. This is the 90s. Everything has to fight everything. And then at school, it was basically, oh, you like Digimon? Oh, you're an idiot, because Pokemon's so much better. It's really not. Well, how's it better? They've got weapons, Pokemon don't. Pokemon's better! And they would just walk away.
I don't know. And don't forget the Dragon Ball Z power scaling.
And the Dragon Ball Z power scaling. But that's a whole different level of things that we can get onto. But
yeah. Today
we're going to talk about the show starting from Season 1. So how did Season 1 affect you guys?
Honestly, that's kind of hard to say. It's definitely happened to open an idea of what could be. Definitely seeing how they went from thinking, oh, we happen to be trapped in this world. Oh, it's computer simulation. Oh, we can die in it.
It kind of got real really quickly. But when you really look back at the beginning episodes, you kind of just see about how each character just kind of said. I especially love the second episode where for like a second everybody stops and goes, okay, guys, just chill for a second. How much food do we have? What do we need to do for fucking fire? What do we need to do to keep alive and keep moving?
Yeah.
What do we need to do? It's actually kind of cool to see these characters not go all Lord of the Flies on each other.
It literally was the first time I was saying, okay, we're in this new world. What is there for survival? What can we do for survival? And that's where everybody kind of shits on the first Digimon World game. That's where the thing kind of comes into play.
Well,
anyway.
the game was something different, but like,
yeah.
looking back at these characters, I just remember imprinting on the fucking Tai, and he became like my legit role model for life. After that point, and it's just like, here's a guy who just kind of walks into any situation and just tackles it, full head-on force, doesn't hold anything back. And as a kid, that was just so alluring to me. It was just like, then you look at Matt, who would just kind of bitch about everything, but the girls love that because he's an angsty little prick. Matt was Sasuke before Sasuke was a thing.
Yeah. Then we have the team, plus of the team, such as Joe, who, although he wasn't exactly per se the best of the character, he was definitely the one that was working to try and keep them together.
He's probably the personification of how all of us would actually act if we brought up in the digital world. What the fuck are we doing here? This isn't okay! This isn't okay! Where the fuck's our money? We need food, we need parents, we need adults!
The only thing he was missing was the asthma inhaler.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, stereotyping.
Breathe, Joe! Breathe, Joe!
Then
Don't tell me to
just-
breathe! Everything's wrong!
Izzy was just sitting there, okay, let me understand everything and maybe we have a chance to survive here. Maybe just, hey, everything's cool. Sora was just, alright. And then Ty and Matt just, okay, we're gonna try to
Well,
leave this
Sora
fucking
was
thing.
pretty chill
Yeah.
at that point. She was just kind of like, well, Ty seems to know what he's fucking doing some of the time. Let's just follow his lead. Just keep a chill head about it.
Yeah.
He's okay with this, and he's my best friend.
Yeah.
Everything's okay. You have Mimi, who's a 90s girl, freaking out about everything.
She's the spaz.
She's
the ditzy spaz.
She's the ditzy spaz.
The
Eventually,
bridge gets so
eventually
low.
she mellows out. And to be honest, I love early set Mimi before like mid-season music starts, because that's when she starts complaining and bitching more often. Because I remember how she was like right before they fight Enamon, and she's like, guys, we're gonna do this. We got this. Let's stick together. I got this. Let's do this. And then literally like Ty disappears and everything goes to shit.
It literally did. The entire team disbanded for a while.
It's just like
Months.
Ty was the glue leading them in the right direction for everything. It was just kind of like, people bitch about Ty now because of how much of an idiot or an obnoxious jerk he was. But when we really see something for the Gogglehead leaders, they're really the glue that keeps their teams together.
Yeah.
And it would really, in these same mannerisms and the same characteristics would imprint on seasons and the leaders to go forward from this. Okay, I think we talked about the characters. We not just about TK and Kari.
Yeah.
So basically, TK and Kari are kind of like walking limit breaks.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, they're the only ones that got the Warp Digivolution to Mega without
Really,
ever having.
without really having to. It's just kind of like they both got ultimates. It's just kind of like TK is a cool character because of how he kind of views the world at this point. He's a very innocent person. That's one, and I love this version of TK most often. I'll get to the other one later. But it's just like
Kari is just at a young age here playing around with the darkness and trying to befriend a enemy kind of thing, and that's where the whole light versus darkness starts playing into concept. So
well, the thing I loved about Kari as a character is that she's very, whereas TK kind of looks at and engages everything with an innocent eye, Kari sees everything with an innocent eye. She looks at everything saying, you don't have to be evil, you shouldn't have to be evil, and I'm not afraid of Digimon because you guys haven't done anything to me yet.
Yeah.
Which would imprint upon her character, and some people would say it kind of made her character lame, but honestly, it kind of keeps her as being one of the best people in the show.
Yeah.
And going into the new tribe, we're finally going to see that go to shit.
Yeah. Although we have missed one of the characters,
Oh.
Izzy.
Oh, yeah, true, Izzy. Izzy is kind of like, he's the kid who's watching Star Trek at the age of like 8 years old, and fully understanding what the f is going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's getting how the science behind everything works. He's getting into how everything works, and he just knows how these things
I
work.
mean, thinking about when they go into the factory with one of the machine Digimon and stuff like that, Andromon. And just the whole Izzy just being locked up in some kind of like vessel kind of thing inside the factory, and just understanding the science of how this interacts with the world and going into all matters and stuff like that. He
And
wants to just understand everything.
Think about how quickly he did it too.
Yeah.
You learned the individual symbols, how
He
they
learned it
interact.
within, I think they were on Fire Island for a little under a month.
Yeah.
And it was just like, he learned that within like the first week he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of insane how quickly he learned how all that shit
The
worked.
fact that he was like the only one of the Digidestined that really actively interacted with Gen I 2.
And interacted with the world, and he's kind of like, Izzy's a really cool character because he doesn't like there is times in the beginning where he really hides behind his laptop, but as time goes along, he really starts to try and engage the world around him and then he logs that into the laptop and consumes it all at once.
Yeah.
Which is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
It seemed like the first
He's
time.
mentally comprehending it before he's able to use the computer to physically do what function it needs to serve as.
And that's one of the things I love about Izzy as a character, and it sticks with me throughout the seasons, is that he keeps that in mind. He keeps that mindset towards everything, and he keeps his mind open to everything. He doesn't really shut himself out. And I know I kind of shot over Matt, so I'll give Matt his moments again. Matt is kind of the guy who is, I want to say before like the series starts, he's kind of just on his own all the time, and he's really a loner kid where he's pretty much taking care of himself because his dad's not really around as much as us.
Yeah.
And his dad's a nice guy. His dad tries, but when you really look at it, he's being left alone by pretty much all of himself. He's forced to take care of himself.
Take care of his brother.
No, not take care of his brother because they're separated most of the time.
Yeah, but it's not up until they are in the digital world for
That he
a
has
long
to.
time that they have to start, okay, we're brothers, we gotta start, protecting each other kind of thing.
Yeah, but before that, Matt didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
He was pretty much just saying I had to take care of himself and would see TK every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, little brother, now you have to take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, it does the same thing that I would do to anyone, one of us who has a sibling and is forced to take on this responsibility of it. Because it really kind of hits him. And he's like, why should I have to do it? Why do I have to be responsible for fucking everything? And it really gets him, and he starts to lash out at people because of it. And to be honest, after the first time that he and Ty have a fight, it's like, Ty's about to freaking beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And that's when he says, he's out there all alone, it's all my fucking fault. And it's like, Matt, I'm sorry, but you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And
That's really
after
weird.
Ty disappears, he just...
started to revert the orbit until he started to get himself back into the
Yeah.
his shit literally together.
And I don't really think Matt really, and even to this day, really doesn't really understand how Ty affects him, because Ty really brings out the best in him. Really brings out the best, because whenever Matt moves away from Ty, it really brings out the worst in him.
Yeah, he goes into that regressing state.
Yeah.
Russian state.
I mean, even though he's physically doing what he can with his bands and all of his other career choices, yeah, you can see him kind of lashing out that way. So.
And we've seen how successful
Yeah,
these bands are.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
kind of how
guys.
many times it failed.
Yeah. And then, but it really kind of brings into his character development, because he really kind of views himself as being better. Which brings us into Try, where he finally understands, can't just stand on the sidelines and bitch and moan anymore. I can't really do it.
Yeah.
Mind you, he's still kind of doing it,
Yeah,
but he's not like shying away from the fact that he needs to change.
he's at least acknowledging that he's not Mr. Pretty Perfect Boy.
Yeah, he's acknowledging that he can't just stand on the sideline and bitch and moan and be angsty about it anymore. Moving on, the Digimon, guys. Let's talk about Digimon in this thing, because it's kind of the name of the show. Okay, which Digimon really imprinted on you guys?
Just the personalities, as far as which every one of them having their own kind of personal wants, needs, and attributes that they can help out with their partners. Being, oh, you're passionate about this. Okay, I believe in you, kind of thing, and going on with, okay, well, each Digimon has their little quirks of themselves, so that was kind of cool.
Personalities in like, we kind of got this better. This is where I say Digimon got it right, where Pokemon really didn't. Because when you look back at the Pokemon of the 90s, they did not have distinct personalities back then. It was pretty much just Ash going, go do this, go do this, go do this, go do this.
Master Slave.
And it really wasn't until we got Charizard that we got to see an attitude outside of Pikachu.
Yeah.
And like, you did see an attitude with Squirtle early on,
Yeah.
but it was for his first episode and that was just gone.
Yeah.
And then Bulbasaur had an attitude, gone.
Yeah.
But then you look over his Pidgeotto, his Butterfree, and all these other Pokemon he would just get. They don't have personalities. Whereas Digimon, not only do they talk, they walk, and they talk like people, and you get to see them as distinct personalities.
The fact of them being your physical partner Digimon, that says something as far as the bond with you and the Digimon. That's going to show what personalities you guys got to overcome as troubling times go on. What is your friendships going to foster into?
Yeah. Especially when you look at Agumon in relationship to Tai. Agumon's very motherly towards Tai when you look at him as a character. He's like, Tai, don't worry, I got your back about this. I got you, don't worry about it. I got your best interest looking out for you. And he
Agumon just Matt, don't be emo. Can you play the harmonica again? It sounds nice.
And then you look over at Sora and Biyomon, and you have, I don't want to say a motherly vibe towards each other. It's a very caring vibe, very loving relationship where it's like, I don't think Sora has really cared about anybody outside of like her friends that much in her life, and forced to actually confront those feelings of care, of kindness and caring with each other.
It really does fit into her crest too,
Yeah.
considering everything.
It's love.
Yeah.
And then you have Mimi, who probably gonna say this right now. All of her friends are probably uber vain, and all being really super bitchy. And when she meets the group of Digidestined plus her Digimon friend Palamon, who becomes her best friend, who likes her for who she is and not what she brings to the table, it's kind of really cool to see how these characters interact with everything. And then you look over at Izzy with Tentomon, and Tentomon is telling him, "Hey, you need to engage with the world, because it's not just the fucking computer.
Yep.
You need to engage with the world and engage with it."
And then Joe with Gomamon is just
It's very much the same thing.
Yeah, you gotta be more social about everything. I understand you're worried about everything, but still start living life on the flow kind of idea.
You gotta start.
You can't just run away from everything.
Yeah, you just can't run away from everything. You gotta take risks. You gotta take opportunities. To be honest, I don't think Joe would have gone to like all these prep schools with it if it had not been for Gomamon.
Yeah, obviously, because
he probably would have been able to take it.
Yeah, we even noticed that even during the time within the schools, he was really, really stressed and out of it.
Yeah. And then the thing that always bugs me about Try is that in basically when you look at the high school about to go to prep school version of Joe, Joe's acknowledging that he needs breaks. He knows that he needs time away from this crap. He acknowledges that he needs it, and then when Try comes around, he regresses back to that old ported version of himself. He says, "Why should I have to do anything?" But it's kind of cool to see where Joe has come since then and how Gomamon interacts with him.
Yeah.
And then Patamon and TK, that's a relationship that's still kind of weird for me because it's not so as engaging as everybody else is.
Yeah, they were kind of.
They're just kind of like best friends in the proper phrase of best friends, but there's no way that no way that they really engage with each other that can really be described.
Yeah.
They're just like best friends and brothers and that type of thing. And they just care about each other so much. And it's with Gatomon and Kari, it's more different than that. It's the same relationship but different.
It's more in depth.
It's more in depth because Kari and Gatomon really kind of view their purpose in the world as being bigger and higher. And when it comes to Gatomon and Kari being Digidestined and Tamer, and Digimon, it's really, they really take that with a high grain of salt. They say, "Hey, I know what I gotta do. I know what this means for us to be together because of how much it took just to get us in the same room and to be together, and we don't want to lose that for anything."
Yeah.
Especially with what all happened to Gatomon prior to that.
Yeah.
Point.
So you really get to see that properly in the thing. And we're not trying to shit over TK. It's just not the most prominent of relationships in the show.
Yeah.
I'll do that later. But the arc of the show, each arc going forward, just think about like the tests they have to go through. Like especially with Devamon right off the bat, is like he's just an evil one trying to kill them.
He was simple, and it kind of was fitting as a perfect starting villain because Devimon being the devil, literally, he was a perfect starter villain for a show.
And then when you finally get to fighting Devimon, the Digidestined, I don't want to say are prepared, but they're ready as they could have been at the time.
And then he completely stomped them over.
Stomps everybody, and then Angemon shows up out of nowhere and wastes everything.
Yeah, at the sacrifice of himself.
And to be honest, now I re-examine that relationship with TK, now thinking about it, I think it's kind of been harder for us to see that relationship with Patamon because TK is consistently in fear of losing Patamon. And it's kind of hard for us to see deeper into that relationship outside of what TK feels.
Yeah,
because Patamon can't really talk about it.
Yeah.
Because, like in Try, Patamon's like, just end me if anything comes wrong with it.
I'm infected, aren't I?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There's something wrong with me, but don't be afraid to end me if something goes wrong.
And we still see that fear play out.
Yeah. But I would say this is more or less Patamon's fault. Patamon does not do a great job of, like, saying, "Hey, you need to stop worrying about me. Because I'm with you, everything will be fine. I'm not worried about it." And it's kind of like the release one. They could have done some really great stuff with that.
Yeah.
And then pretty much what Devilmon does to the TK is kill his innocence. It's dead from this point onward. And when you really look at TK's attitude moving forward, he has an intense hatred of darkness, which isn't really properly shown in any of the incarnations for TK that he has. And I think more than once, it's always been stated that it could really do some great things for TK if they really have him confront these feelings of like hatred. And then we move over to Edamon, and Edamon is just like
Edamon was awesome in his own way.
Edamon's just literally saying, "I just want to beat the shit out of you."
Of Elvis. You're gonna know you with
He
my
just wants to
music.
beat the shit out of these kids because he's told to.
Yeah.
That's literally his entire thing. The way it works well for him. He's that henchman who is still a big threat.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't need like some whole big backstory. No, it works for him being that somewhat simple, but in a way kind of perfectly comedic style.
It's kind of weird to look at Edamon as a villain in this show because it's kind of there's really no reason as to why he's doing it other than the fact that he says, "You're the Digidestined, you're going to take over the digital world, you're going to do all this stuff. I don't like it. I'm going to stop you.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat you guys in a pulp because I can."
It's even as simple as that. It's just that simple straightforwardness.
And then
perfect for him.
And then
We go
we make the jump into Myotismon,
Oh, yeah.
which is a whole different level of shit.
Where his reign technically spans between 2 seasons, technically.
When you look over at Myotismon, Myotismon is the true, proper personification of evil in the show, and is the best villain probably out of the entire series.
Oh yeah, especially with how they took the time to write and flesh him out. Too.
Yeah.
They showed everything he was doing. They happened to give him a personality that fit it, that cunning.
He just wants power. He wants to stomp everybody out of his way. He wants to complete and utter take over everything. He does not give a crap who gets in his way. He'll kill anybody. He's killed Digimon. And even though the English dub did not properly say this, Pabukumon and freaking Gatsumon are dead. They're dead. They're not coming back. And then you also have Wizardmon, who we know is not coming back.
Yeah.
Is that he does not give a crap who gets in his way as long as he's the most powerful thing in the planet.
He's the equivalent of the Impaler for that. He will kill you without a second thought, and he's got the intelligence to make the most of it.
Take the most of it. He enjoys it. He relishes it. Myotismon is the proper personification of evil in this show. It's kind of scary to always see him, even to this day. Then we move forward for the Dark Masters, which may not be the most fleshed out characters.
Especially the first two. So
yeah, especially Seedramon. Seedramon's just there, Metal Seedramon's just there to like say, "Hey, you're in my fucking river, you're in my fucking ocean, get the fuck out or die."
Yeah, and he died really quickly too. He didn't even Machine Dramon got a bit more.
But at this point, we're at a different point in the time for the characters. The characters are just completely exhausted, and they are just done with everything. Because now they're being told, "Hey, you need to leave your families again. You need to leave the safety of the planet again, and go fight these things." And when you look at Seedramon, Seedramon is the perfect personification of what's going on. Because what happens is Seedramon Metal Seedramon just chases these kids, wearing them down, beating them down little by little, until Waymon dies.
Yeah.
And this is where the bodies just start to drop all over the place. Waymon dies.
What was it?
Piximon?
Not the Piximon. During the point with the Waymon, didn't they end up partially torturing him too before finally killing him?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty. They kept on harassing them the entire time, so bringing out the reason. This is why you need to stop them.
Yeah. And to be honest, this is where we get to see Ty take the worst of all this, because he starts to feel the weight of everything. It's being so strong for everybody, and it's kind of really shocking to see. Because at a certain point, it's really hard to watch him just completely self-destruct. Because he's just saying, "No, I know what I need to do. I know what we need to do as Digidestined. I know what we need to do. I'm gonna do it. Whoever can come with me can come with me." And I literally love seeing Sora and Izzy stick with him throughout all that, because they're like, "I may not like what we have to do, but we gotta do it."
Yeah. And plus, in general, they were two of the characters I'd say that synchronized the best with him.
Yeah. Sora knows how heavy Ty can take things, and Izzy is just sitting there going, "I'm your support, I got your back."
Yeah, you're the one that does the things. I make the plans to make it all work.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you have Matt over in the corner who is just like, "Responsibility, fuck that. everything. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck everybody. I'm done with everything.
He had a bit of a breakdown at that point.
He had his complete mental breakdown where he's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to fight anything. I don't want responsibility. I don't want anything anymore. I just want to be nothing. And it really brings him to. He nearly wishes himself away. It's scary.
And eventually he has his big wake-up call. I think that was around Puppetmon when he had the really big wake-up call hit him.
Yeah.
And Piedmon showed that, this is really why we have to stop.
And then you have Joe and Mimi. This is where I really start to love Joe, because Joe is just like, I'm gonna support you. I know that what we have to do, and I'll be here for you until we have to do this again. Because literally Joe is just like, I know what we have to do now. I'm not gonna run anymore. I'm not going to.
Okay.
But I'm gonna stay here with you, Mimi, until you know that what you have to do too. Because it's really kind of cool to see Joe finally transcend as a character at this point, and just be like, yeah, my character development's done. I know what I need to do. And then Mimi is just kind of like, I have the strength and power to do something. I need to do something. And she really has to kind of realize that. And then they all finally come back together. The Dark Masters just start to fall one by one. I mean, I look back at Machine Dramon. Machine Dramon is just pretty laughable. It's just like, that Agumon has no strength left. One slash, it's dead.
Well, it also did help that he had the
Dramon Destroyer.
The Dramon Destroyers, the Kaiser
Yeah,
because
Kaiser Knuckles.
that's really, kind of like with the Sea Dramon, that's really was the deciding factor for them being able to make through that. And then, Puppetmon gave him a bit of trouble, but it was...
Puppetmon fucked with their minds.
He was more the psychological point, whereas Piedmon, he did kind of everything. He showed them that, you're still nothing.
You're still nothing. You're a pathetic little ant that's in my way.
Yeah, they got lucky.
And it's literally Puppetmon and Piedmon are the two most evil ones. Machine Dramon's just like, I'm just here to smite you out of my fucking life.
Yeah.
He
did exactly.
And then Puppetmon just plays on everybody's emotions, plays on everybody's things. And when you look back at that forest, that entire forest arc, when they're in the forest trying to get the Puppetmon, it's fucking one of the most mind-numbing, scary things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's kind of really messed up. But you really get to see TK's character development too, where he's like, I'm with Ty on this because we have a responsibility. And he kind of looks at his brother and says, Matt, you got to have the same responsibilities that I do. You got to. You can't just walk away from it. And it's kind of cool to see that he's had so little character development, but he knows what he has to do. And by the time that they finally beat Piedmon, we go into Pokemon, who just wants everything to fucking end and wants a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I always home with the last slice of pizza? Why do you guys get the pizza and I get the crust?
Yeah.
And then by the end of season 1, we really get a really cool thing. Because you really get to see where far these characters come. Fleshed out characters, dropped out party points. I did kind of miss out on Kari, where Kari kind of gets possessed a little bit by the goddess of light or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that would have been homeostasis again.
Is that? We now know who that is.
Yeah.
Now, question, you guys: were you as kids, when you saw the last episode of season 1, were you fearful of that being it? That the last time you were ever gonna see the digital world, kind of?
I was afraid.
The way how they played it off, it was goodbye forever kind of concept.
I was afraid, but then literally,
it's like the gates might open, might.
I remember that weekend, and I was sad by the time the series ended, but literally after the episode ended, here's trailers for season 2.
Yeah.
It was literally directly after the episode ended. Here's a preview for season 2, and I'm like, it looks so beautiful.
Yeah, and then with me considering, mine was started with the movie.
Yeah.
So you really have to worry too much.
I knew that, but the thing was, for me, I remember every episode I've ever seen. I remember seeing Digimon completely out of order at times. There were times I missed episodes. I know every episode of season 1 that I've ever missed. And it's kind of like, I missed the first episode. I missed the first episode. I missed the Bergermon episode. I would see every episode up until they go and get the tags. And then see every episode. I missed out on the cruise episode. I saw every episode all the way up until... I did see every episode. I didn't miss one. I missed half of one. I missed half of one, and it is the first half of the episode when they first go into Midosmon Castle, and Midosmon goes into the digital world, leaving them behind. So I missed the first part of that episode, and I only missed like about, I want to say, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Not
Then moving
too-
forward, wouldn't miss an episode until Patamon runs away.
Okay.
Missed that episode completely. Missed the episode after that when Minusmon takes over the town.
It seems like the one.
See every episode, and then see a couple episodes in a row. Miss the episode where Pixelmon dies. See every episode until the Puppetmon ones. That's where it starts to really. I missed a lot of those. I missed Puppetmon dying completely.
Really?
I missed him completely. I missed the episode where they first fight Machinedramon, and they're running around the city to get medicine for Kari. Missed that entire thing. Missed the episodes where Leomon came back. And then I saw every episode until the end of the series.
Huh.
So I remember every episode I've ever missed of Digimon completely. And it's kind of scary because that's how much I fucking love it.
Okay,
I know what I
so
missed.
For season 1, we went over characters, archetypes, villains, I guess episodes at this point.
Yep.
Stories.
Do
Alright.
we want to go into season 2?
We're gonna go into
How
season
much
2.
are we gonna do
We're
this?
going to go into season 2, but we're going to cut the video short so we can upload this in parts.
Okay.
So it's less files on my thing. Because mind you, people, we're doing this all on my phone.
Yeah.
So, alright, we will be back to you guys in the next episode.